Welcome. We are back. Another day in the market. Red for the most part for a lot of different stocks, but there definitely were, how do I put this, exceptions, right? If you saw SPRT today, made a crazy move. We'll talk about it a little bit later. We still got a lot to cover, so here's going to be the rundown. If you're new to the stream, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin for like 1 minute, then we're going to talk about the overall stock market. After we do that, we're going to be talking about Clover, SPRT, whatever else, that jumps into my mind that I want to talk about, we'll be talking about. So yeah, it's the final stream of the week. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I still forgot to fix my mic thing, but whatever. It should be fine on your end. I'm just going to keep my fan low. But yeah, let's talk about Bitcoin first. Pulled back to roughly the 200-day moving average, so that's pretty much the support you'd be looking at right now at around 46k, pretty much. It honestly, last night we were looking at it, kind of looked like it was breaking out of this descending broadening wedge, but now it just kind of looks like a fake out, so I'm just going to extend that down. And that's really it for Bitcoin. I mean, you still have the hidden bullish divergence, you still are currently at a higher low. You haven't really pivoted much yet. As long as it holds the 200-day moving average, it looks fine to me still, but we'll see. Just kind of pulling back after that classic bearish divergence on the daily started to confirm. That's really it. The only crypto trade is NU, which is currently up about 33%. I guess it's pulling back with Bitcoin. So let's talk about the market. What's up, everybody in the chat? We got Brooks in here, JJ, Matt G, Medi, Cheddar Freeze, Killaroo. Robin says, thoughts on if the Fed meeting tomorrow could be the catalyst. Hope you're well, man. I'm doing well. Hope the same for you. Catalyst in terms of what? It could be a good or a bad catalyst, If I'm not mistaken, it runs pretty much tomorrow and the day after as well. But yeah, let's talk about the market. So before we even get into the technicals, let's talk about everything that's kind of going on apart from that. Today, there were explosions at the airport in Kabul, as I'm sure a lot of you know. Just before I even talk about stocks, just want to, give thoughts and prayers to all the families of everybody who got affected. It's really messed up. We're in the 21st century and there's just still so much collision and just, I don't know. All I want is peace for everybody, and it just sucks to see how worse things got so quickly. So I just wanted to say that before anything else, but obviously that did affect the market today. In the morning we were getting the news about the explosions, and we kind of saw direct correlation there with the market. The market started pulling on most of the indices and a lot of different stocks I was watching. So you definitely have to keep all of that in mind. Definitely monitor the situation if you're a trader. These can affect your trades. Second, but yeah, that's number one. And then number two is tomorrow. Let me just lower the brightness here. All right, we got the Jackson Hole Symposium, if that's how I'm supposed to say it correctly. But just really quickly, I just found a random article. There's one part, where was it? Is it down here? Why can't I find it? I moved like where I was looking at, which is just annoying. Oh, okay, it's all the way up here. Never mind. All right, so the forum brings together central bankers, private economists, policymakers, academics, government officials, and obviously the news media to cover it. And then I believe at 10 a.m. EST tomorrow, we have Jerome Powell speaking. So keep an eye on that tomorrow. Here's the thing, there's a few charts I'm looking at that look pretty interesting to me for lotto ideas tomorrow, but I don't know if I want to play anything right at the open tomorrow if Powell is going to be speaking half an hour after the market opens, because that could be a good or a bad thing. But yeah, I don't know, I might just kind of sit on my hands for like the first hour of the day. It just depends on what everything looks like, but just keep that in mind tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of interesting points that we all want to kind of get an update on. Obviously, everything going on with COVID, new Delta variant says it right there, but also tapering, what's going on with that? If we kind of look down over here, that's one of the main questions right now. when is there going to be kind of an update on just kind of easing off of everything going on with the QE. So we'll see tomorrow, potentially, maybe not. There's no way for me to know just yet, but I will be kind of trying to stay updated with everything. So keep that in mind for tomorrow. This can affect your stocks. It could affect potentially your crypto, and the whole entire market as a whole. So everybody will be looking at this. I want all of you to kind of be up to date with everything. And that's really it that I wanted to bring up, apart from the technicals. But also looking at the technicals, tomorrow is going to be a pretty important decision making day. I don't really know how to put it, but we have had a really, really nice rally for obviously large cap stocks. The S&P and the NASDAQ have, for the most part, just been continuing to rally ever since May 11th. If you were there on that stream, there was like 10 people watching because everybody was so sad. But if you were here on that stream, that was when I was super, super bullish on so many different indices and stocks. And really since then, we had a little bit of a rough patch. I think there was a Fed meeting around over here, or one of these dips, maybe in that one. But for the most part, just higher highs and higher lows since then on both the NASDAQ and the S&P. Obviously, the trend since the COVID crash is still very, very bullish, but you never know, right? The RSIs are not really overbought. There definitely is more room to the upside. You still have that 4-hour hidden bullish divergence on the S&P, but the MACD is kind of waning. So that's really all I'm looking at for both of them. I think personally, and not even just personally, but like it definitely comes from more like fundamentals right now are probably the decision maker. And you might be thinking like, obviously they are all the time for the overall market. Yes. But again, it's a forward looking market for the most part. So, there's times when really all you can kind of look at is the news. And then there's other times where you can use charts on the indices to kind of get a judgment of where they could be heading to next. Like we did on March 5th when it was at the bottom of the wedge, and that worked out perfectly. The news was horrible. Everybody was kind of freaking out, but just simple lines on a chart kind of, was an easy way to see where the market was dipping back then. And then even on this upsloping channel, right? I wonder why every single time it hits this bottom demand line, it's been bouncing. So just keep all those things in mind, just trying to bring it up. Apart from large cap, we look at the ARK and the Russell. I think it was on Tuesday night stream. So we had a really good Friday last week. Then we had a great Monday and a great Tuesday for small caps and mid caps. And on Tuesday night stream, I was just kind of hinting at the fact that like what happened was very, very quick. And it was just, I think what I roughly said was I would be surprised if we just kept running for the rest of the week without any sort of a pullback. And between yesterday and today, we kind of have seen a little bit of a pullback. So going into tomorrow for small caps and mid caps, I think obviously over any technical, it's the main thing to be watching is everything going on with the Fed. But just looking at the technical levels for right now, only looking at the charts, not keeping everything else that's going on in mind, it kind of looks like a healthy pullback to me for the ARK ETF and for the Russell. But again, that could change literally tomorrow morning if some more bad news comes out or whatever it is. So I'm just saying, as of this time on this chart, I don't see anything too concerning about this pullback for now. You're still above support on the IWM. You're above your white domain line and the 219 level. If you look at the ARK ETF, you close just above your support at 119 as well. And you have more support under that at 115. So that's really how I'm looking at it for right now. And then just another thing, going into tomorrow, we have options expiration as per usual on Friday. I don't think it's any sort of witching day, but it will be the final Friday of August. So just keep seasonality in mind. Maybe there'll be some sort of portfolio reconstruction from large money or big money or whatever you want to call just funds. So just, I think it'll be an interesting day. Maybe all of the things kind of collide together and then nothing happens because there's so much good and bad, but like, it's just overall tomorrow is just going to be an interesting day in my opinion. I'm not going to say I'm excited, but I'm interested to see how all of these things kind of fall into place tomorrow. And then on top of that, we have a name like SPRT running. And what's interesting about that, like it was up 41% during market hours. And then after market hours, it was up another 38%. Now, SPRT, I don't think has ever really been grouped as a meme stock. It definitely has been currently, or it is being grouped as like a short squeeze because of the high short interest, which we talked about. But the interesting thing here for SPRT is like when you get that one name in the whole entire retail space that runs like crazy, SPRT has gone 300% since we started talking about it in the beginning of the month. When you get a name like that, sometimes you could see sympathy plays. Now, sympathy plays could be other highly shorted stocks. Sympathy plays could be stocks that are very, very similar to SPRT, or maybe people take profits and they roll those profits over into other things that they want to kind of have some fun with, like meme stocks, like AMC, GameStop, and whether you like to say it or not, Clover has been grouped in the whole entire meme stock thing. I don't even know what to call it, mania. But just keep that in mind. I'll be interested to see how SPRT does tomorrow, and if that has any sort of effect on other highly or other retail stocks with high interest, if that makes sense. So that's like the larger picture. There's a lot of other little things, but that's mainly, my thoughts going into tomorrow. Right now, futures are relatively just flat. Russell futures are down a little bit, but still relatively flat. So there's not too much of a difference apart from all of that. But that is a lot. I kind of just really quickly summarized everything, but everything I just said was quite a bit. So I want everybody to just kind of keep that in mind. So yeah, let me take a look at the chat. We'll talk about Clover here in a second. And yeah, just a reminder, it's the final stream of the week. Keep hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button if you didn't already. And then one final thing, I won't be live on Sunday. I don't even know if I'm going to be live on Monday. I start college again, or start my second year of college next week. So I don't know how the beginning of the week is going to look like. So this might be the last stream in like 4 or 5 days. Just want to, if you're in the Discord, you'll know. But Killaroo with the $3 tip, how you doing? Drop in a super sticker in the chat. I don't even know what they call them. I think it's a super sticker. But thank you for the super chat. $3 tip. Let's get some vibes in the chat for Killaroo. Yes, we will look at EVGO for that. And then we'll talk about Clover after. Thank you again for the tip. Yeah, EVGO. So an update on it. I like that it's still holding above 878. This is the second day in a row now, and you actually do have classic bullish divergence on the daily. Confirmed today. If it just continues to hold 878, you're pretty much at the apex point where there's like this little, like literally this, right? So your candle tomorrow is going to open wherever it opens, but tomorrow could be a decision day, whether it breaks out of this down sloping channel, which all it has to do is go up a couple of percent to do so, or go down a couple of percent and then close the week under that previous all-time low. So I think tomorrow's a very, very important day for EVGO. Hopefully that classic bullish divergence helps you out, but again, that's the daily, so it could take multiple days to start really doing things. I think you said something about a descending triangle. I mean, kind of, if you just kind of, chart a supply line like this, it's relatively the same thing as it's kind of like the same supply line regardless for EVGO. So that's really how I would be looking at it. But just keep in mind that hammer candle right over here was kind of your low so far. So you definitely do not want to fall under that. This hammer candle shows that there were buyers that quickly stepped up to the plate when it got down to this low $8 level. So you just want to make sure you stay above that. We go down to lower time frames, kind of the same exact thing. So there's your EVGO. Thank you again for the tip. Hope it goes well for you. And back over to the Clover chart. Let me just read the chat before we talk about Clover. I haven't really looked at the chat too much. We are going to be talking about SPRT after we talk about Clover. Okay. Dan says CLOV to 9 tomorrow. I hope so. I have no clue, but I hope so. What else? Chatterfree says Jackson Hole typically doesn't hold too much weight. Yeah, definitely look at historically, like what they talk about there. I have not looked at it, so I don't really want to say what they do and what they don't. But also, I think right now we're in a little bit of an interesting situation with all of the QE and the Delta variant and everything else going on. Inflation, I mean, I don't even know where that's currently at. Just, we'll see. What's up, JG, in the chat? Team Crawford says SPRT has a gamma squeeze. Yes or no? We're going to take a look at it. JJ with the $20 donation says PENN, awesome stuff this week. Thanks for the education. Good luck with school. We'll look at PENN. So we were about to get to Clover. I'm going to spend like 20 minutes on Clover. All right. But we are going to look at PENN for the donation. Thank you very, very much, JJ. Let's get some more vibes in the chat for JJ. Hopefully that tip jar is actually working. My tea is kind of warm, so I'm going to put that down. But we're going to look at PENN, and then we'll get back to Clover. but I promise, you know I spent a lot of time on Clover. We're going to look at it regardless. Let me just finish reading the chat before I look at PENN. But yeah, we hit 2,000 Discord members. I'm actually going to be doing something with the Discord later on stream tonight. I'll be just kind of walking through it for all of you, but we'll get to that much later, or not much later, in a little bit. Joseph says, hey champ, love the streams. Thanks, don't normally make it up this late. Well, glad to see that you're here, and glad to hear that you enjoy them. Sammy says, will SPRT keep going up tomorrow? I'm going to go over, so I'm going to look at PENN for the donation, then we're going to talk about Clover, then I'm going to talk everything SPRT. Just keep in mind, it's interesting to me that there's chats about SPRT tonight after it just went up 300% since the beginning of the month. But after something goes up 300%, I cannot do the same type of analysis that I was doing at the beginning of the month, if that makes sense. Technicals really don't matter as much. You can still find historical levels, but it's really just all about momentum once you get up to those types of crazy moves. So I just want to say that ahead of time, if you're only here for SPRT, I'm going to spend probably 10 minutes on it talking about it, but there's no way for me to know what's going to happen tomorrow as of right now. I just want to say ahead of time, I'm not a fortune teller. If you're here for a fortune teller, try and find another stream, but we'll talk about it. Let me look at PENN. So PENN, very, very nice move this week so far. I mean, it's just non-stop green. Gambling stocks and casino stocks having a great week. If you're in the Discord, you follow me on Twitter, and you were in the win trade or the CZR trade, both of those casino type stocks have been doing well. So looking at PENN right now, it kind of reversed in like a random area to me. Maybe that was like a harmonic PCZ, but not really any historical level. It just kind of bottomed out at 61. Right now, your support on PENN is 75. That was your previous resistance pretty much in July, and it was your support at the end of June, and it was your support in the beginning of May, and it was your resistance at the end of September last year. So that's your support, 75.27. Your resistance is 85.20. It was your resistance in June, it was your support in April, and that was pretty much about it. In terms of a structure, you kind of had a triple bottom over here, first bottom, second bottom, third bottom. You just broke the neckline. The measured move of this triple bottom would take you up to about right at the 200-day moving average. So that'll be your next resistance. It's your measured move and the 200-day moving average around 89. So 85 and then 89 are your closest resistances. That's really it. I mean, if you really want to zoom in, you have super mini hidden bullish divergence playing out on the daily as well on the MACD. So yeah, I just want to kind of keep it simple there. There's not too much else to talk about on PENN as long as it just holds this little previous resistance zone at around like 75-ish. Still looks good to me. Of course, it could back test it, you never know, but you even have that hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour. So there's your PENN. Thank you again for the tip. So yeah, Clover and then SPRT. First off, with Clover, let's give an update on everything. So before we even get into the chart, after hours today, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the CEO and the CTO, let me just scroll up so yeah, the CEO and the CTO did like an answer to like the Reddit Ask Me Anything. I kind of skimmed through it before the stream started, but if we do scroll down, I liked this one. It was like a 2-part question. Where was it? All right, here we go. So there's kind of a 2-part question. How do you market the Clover Assistant to physicians? This was actually really interesting to me. And really, I already kind of knew about how all this works, but just to kind of reiterate it, with the Clover Assistant, it's kind of a combination of, yes, you have the insurance, but if you can kind of tie that together with AI, that's important for the actual medical field. Each one can help the other. And this is very, very simple. I know Tar Heel and Coach do a much better job of explaining all of this. Go check them out on YouTube, Tar Heel Blue and Coach B Stocks. But just to kind of see them constantly reiterate how this could be industry changing, where you have the MA plan, but also the Clover Assistant. And there was one part, right over here, we win as an insurance company and our members win when they get data-driven, personalized primary care. So it's kind of like everybody's kind of at an advantage here, right? You have people who need insurance, you have doctors using the AI, but the AI also helps their patients, and in turn, Clover's making a profit. So that was just, everything else that I kind of skimmed through was just kind of cool to see. Nothing too much that surprised me, but just the reiteration of that point. I think there's a reason why they constantly reiterate it, because that really is like the focal point, in my opinion. And obviously in their opinion. Obviously, they got a lot more in depth there. I'm not going to really look too much into that. That's not really the job I do on the stream. A lot of other people cover all that stuff, but just wanted to bring that point up for the 1,000th time, because I'm sure all of you who do your fundamental analysis have, heard that many times before. But looking at the chart, let's get a little bit of an update. All right, let's see where we're at after all the price action today. Last night on stream, we talked about two things primarily. First thing we talked about was the cup and handle. Second thing we talked about was just the Wyckoff and the update there. All right, so before we talk about the Wyckoff, let's talk about the cup and handle yet again. All right, but before we do that, we got 80 people in here, only 33 likes. I don't know, maybe it's just we're nearing the end of the week. People are a little bit tired. I understand, but we're all here. We're all just enjoying ourselves, having some good vibes. Let's get those like numbers up. Wolf of Wall Street quote. Those are rookie numbers, okay? So let's get those up. But the cup and handle, we talked about this last night, if you go back to the stream or if you watched it, really all we were at was right over here. We just had this one red candle pretty much, which was like when the market started falling at the end of the day yesterday, or at least small and mid caps did. And for the most part, you didn't really have a handle yet. You had a rounding bottom, but you never really handled out. And today was pretty much the handling process. Now you could continue handling tomorrow if, let's say, the market's red or just Clover is red. Always a possibility for that, but it's pretty much well defined. I think you're at like the 38% Fibonacci retrace right now. Actually, no, you're right at it still. So you're finding some support, not once, but twice at the same area. Now, you kind of bottomed out there at like 11 o'clock earlier in the day. You had a very large bullish engulfing candle, and then you just spent the rest of the day selling and giving back the gains from that bullish engulfing candle. So if we're going to be talking about intraday price action, it was pretty bearish today. The price action today was just kind of, apart from like a couple of spikes, like you had like 2 different times you went up like 2%. Apart from that, just most of the bounces got sold today, and I think that obviously correlated with the overall market, right? Both of those just kind of, the market was selling off as the explosion news was coming out, and then you just kind of saw that. But we talked about last night how a red day today for Clover, not necessarily, obviously I'd like to see it green, but it's, for the technical standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. It really does. One, so you could get your handle in the cup and handle, which you now have started to develop and could break out of at any single point tomorrow or the day after. But also, so you could reset your oscillators. Last night we were talking about how the 1 hour RSI was overbought. I was talking about that during the day in the Discord and on Twitter yesterday, when you were literally up in these areas. So now you've kind of pulled back, you've reset your oscillators, and you've allowed for, instead of an overbought RSI, quite the opposite, hidden bullish divergence on your MACD. So what does this imply? A continuation of the uptrend. You're in a short-term uptrend, and that hidden bullish divergence implies that there's a decent chance of making a higher low than the low at 740-ish and running to higher levels than you just hit, than getting above 9. That's really all it implies roughly. It's just probability. But even on the 15-minute, you have the chance for that. So today really was just kind of moving with the market, bounced twice off like the 840 range, closed right around 850, which I really like because that was pretty close to the original LPS that we saw yesterday, which, if you remember last night's stream, was right over here. Now the LPS, let's get back to the Wyckoff stuff. The LPS is pretty much a part of Wyckoff, where after a large sign of strength and a nice run up, which we got in the first 2 days of the week, you kind of retest your previous resistances and attempt to flip them into supports on lower volume. And apart from the final volume candle of the day on the 15-minute chart, it was diminished volume all day, just pretty much decreasing apart from this little bounce. And you didn't necessarily perfectly hold that same level from yesterday. You just kind of went to a new level at this 843 area. So if we look back in time, this was a former resistance, or at least a pivot high at the end of July. And it's still just kind of around this middle part of the range where you see you topped out here, a little bit under over there. You topped out here, over here inside of that little harmonic, over here as well. You tested over here. So still, we talked about this since we've been starting to talk about the LPS part of accumulation, where even though LPS stands for last point at support or up support, you can get multiple LPS points. So I still think that we're in phase D. We're getting a little bit more LPS. And I'll just pull up the website right now. So let's scroll down here. right over here. So you could see, like, I still think we're within this phase D somewhere around over here. I think this is that dip that we're getting right now. And again, I've said this time and time again, a lot of people still haven't really got it, but I'm just trying to educate so everybody does understand. It's not about Clover literally doing this, and just following all of these lines perfectly. That's not what the Wyckoff is about. Roughly, you want it to be similar for sure, but it's about all of these abbreviations and all the signs you look for within a Wyckoff range. And the spring worked out well, the sign of strength worked out well, and now I still think you're getting that LPS within the middle of phase D. So somewhere, you know, it could be up here, it could be down here, but you're still kind of getting that action. Now just for a reiteration, there may be more than one LPS, last point of support, and you're getting that diminished spread and volume, right? You're getting less volatility than you saw on Monday and Tuesday, and also you're getting less volume. So that's really the main point of what I'm looking at right now on Clover. A lot of people ask me, and this is why I was trying to say this ahead of time last night, where I just wanted to reiterate the point, even if you have a red day and another red day and another one, the Wyckoffs can still be in play. What invalidates the whole entire Wyckoff idea? It's very simple. Falling below your previous spring. What could, again, I don't want this to happen. The probability is also against this happening, but there is a possibility of it happening, right? It happened the last 2 times Clover went to 9 and went back down to 8. We could kind of zoom out over here, go over to the 1 hour chart. You could see you were overbought on the 1 hour over here. You went from 9 to 8. You got overbought again. You went from 9, above 9 to 8. Then you got overbought again yesterday. You went from 9 to now 850. And who knows, you know, maybe you bounce right off the gate tomorrow, maybe you go lower, but really there still is a chance to go all the way back down to these lower areas. It's not that it wouldn't necessarily strengthen the argument. That would actually kind of make it a little bit tough, but you could still have a valid Wyckoff range even if you continued dipping, as long as you never broke your lowest low or your spring level, which is around 740-ish. So technically what could I mean, again, I don't think this is going to happen. There's a possibility for anything. And if it does happen, I'm not going to be surprised, because I'm saying ahead of time there's a possibility for everything. Even if this did happen, as long as you stayed above this, you could still be within Wyckoff. And then what could happen is you bounce back up or whatever it is, and you just extend your phases. That's what I've been saying since day one. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it takes more time for the Wyckoff range to develop, you can extend your phases, right? These are not things that, you know, you have to sign contracts where literally this has to be this phase and this has to be this phase. You're just trying to do your best to identify where it could possibly be. So yeah, I mean, I shared a screenshot earlier on Twitter today. It was roughly, I'm just going to try and really quickly do it. Roughly something along these lines. Okay, where you could see you had your spring, you had your test, you had your run up, and now you're kind of coming back into this area. So still, I think it's phase D. Does it go lower? I don't have a magic ball. I do not know the future. Just bringing up different variables so you could look at everything. But again, we're just at this point where we're very flexible, and that's what I really like. And that's why I'm a lot more open-minded. Over here, I was saying you need the spring for this to kind of be anything. And you got this spring. That was a very strict thing. But now that we're in this area, I'm just open-minded for the short term on Clover. Up is great. Down is okay, as long as it's not too far down. That's the main way I'm looking at everything going on. So that's the wrong thing. All right. So hopefully that was just a decent update of the Wyckoff stuff going on. All right, that was perfect. I talked about the likes like 5 minutes ago, and we already got 20 more likes. Thank you very much. And if you're not subscribed to the stream, we're getting close to 3,200 subs, so consider it. I'm not making you do anything, but if you want to subscribe, the button's always there waiting for you. You'll feel good when you hit it. Options chain, still around the same as yesterday. Not too much of a change there. I remember these numbers, and they were roughly around 60,000 open interest on the 9 strike and around 80,000 on the 10 strike. So not too much of any difference. Anything else I see that sticks out to me here? IV or historical IV rank kind of dipping back down. Then you kind of got a floor of both the algo price and the actual price dipping down over here. This was, I don't even know. So that was an intraday thing. That must have, oh, okay, so on both of the lows, this must have been the low around 11 and then the low towards the end of the day. So that's just kind of the price action there. I'll probably come back to that tradey ticks when we look at SPRT to look at the options chain. But yeah, the Bollinger Bands, that as well. We talked about this on Sunday night. The title of the stream was why CLOV might bottom this week. So far, we have not gone back down to that bottom. So again, I don't know the future. I'm just bringing up different variables. The main point there was the Bollinger Bands. It was at the lower Bollinger Band the last 3 times it did that on the daily. It was a local bottom. And you went up to the upper Bollinger Band. We talked about this last night. You were at that upper Bollinger Band, and that kind of turned into another resistance. So you had support at the lower one, resistance at the upper one. Now keep in mind, these do kind of follow the price, so that I believe that they are moving around the price. A good example of that would be right over here. When Clover was just shooting, straight up, you could see this upper Bollinger Band was just following the price up, and then it just got to a point where it didn't know what to do. But just throwing things out there, your kind of spread on those bands is still very, very minimal, but slightly widening after the volatility we saw on Monday and Tuesday. And that's the majority of the update. The MACD still looks fine on the daily. If you look at the 4 hours, still looks fine. I would like for the momentum to be increasing, not waning, but you can't just be increasing the whole entire island duration. Or sometimes it can until it starts waning to go back to red. But yeah, and even last night on stream, I brought this up. I was as honest as possible, and I talked about this 4-hour bearish engulfing candle, and you did see some fall through price action after that. And now today on the 4-hour, you just kind of, I mean, technically this is also a bearish engulfing candle, but it really engulfed like a mini body candle, small bodied candle prior to it, so it's not as like strong, but we'll see. And then on the daily, a little bit of like an inverted hammer, but you typically want to see those after downtrends, not after uptrends, so it really doesn't mean much in that context. My ear just like started, I don't know what the word for it is, but like started ringing, if that's the right way to put it. So let me take a look at the chat. Keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button. And if you're not on the Discord, I'm about to kind of do a little bit of a rundown of the Discord. But if you want to join the Discord, the link is always in the description. So we are going to be talking about the Discord for a little bit. Then we are going to be looking at SPRT. Let me just read the chat before we get into all of that. But appreciate all the support this week. I mean, we've been getting almost 1,000 views on every single stream this week, which is amazing. And a lot of likes, and all the tips have been amazing as well. Just thank you for all the support. Let me see what's up in the chat though. JG says, what happens when you get 2 cups? That would kind of be like a double bottom, right? 2 rounded bottoms. But I have seen situations where the cup and handle, when you get to the handle just keeps handling and it just goes lower and lower and lower. So you got to watch out for that. I typically don't like when handles fall under a 50% retrace. So just for a quick explanation on that, you could see here, wrong thing. I thought I was going to open up like my trading account or something by accident, and I kind of freaked out. But if we look at Clover, you can see from the previous low to the high that it had yesterday, you have the 38% retrace. Typically, I don't want to see that handle get under a 50% retrace, because Bukowski, the person who kind of created a lot of these types of patterns, always talks about how, or I think talks about how the smaller the handle is, it just shows that the bulls have more pressure and the bears can't drag the price down. So you don't want the handle to go all the way back down to where the cup bottomed at, right? You want it to be a nice handle and then a run up after that, but we'll see. What else is in the chat? The Waffle Maker says, is there a limit on how long you can extend the Wyckoff phases? I mean, they could go for a long time. That's the whole entire point about Wyckoff. Wyckoff accumulation, the idea of it, can't talk, is meant to frustrate short-term traders and people who want this thing to moon today and the day after and the day after. It's meant to frustrate retail traders. That's the idea of Wyckoff accumulation, where large money who is very patient and has the amount of capital to just cost average every single day is accumulating shares, while weak hands are becoming very, very impatient and giving up their shares at a potential low point of price, right? That's the whole entire point of it. And that's the thing about Wyckoff. A lot of the times it's not fun. I mean, the Fisker Wyckoff back in January, like, it was my first time kind of trading a Wyckoff range on higher time frames, and it wasn't necessarily fun. It was not fun getting pinned down to 1455 every single day on Fisker for a whole entire month, and every single day biting my nails, hoping that it doesn't break the support. And then even when it was springing, hoping that that wasn't a real breakdown to the downside. Like, that's the thing about Wyckoff, and that's what's so cool about it to me. It's just kind of a different perspective, you know? Greg L says, is CLOV a squeeze play? To me, it's really not. To me, it's just a chart and a stock that I like. I don't think it needs a squeeze. Does it have squeeze potential? Yeah, if you look at all the shorts, and if you look at the options train, it does have the potential, but a lot of volume needs to come in before that happens, like we were talking about a couple weeks ago. And alongside that, there's one other point I wanted to make. It just kind of slipped off the top of my head. Oh yeah, so there was actually new short interest data released like recently, and it says that the short interest is much lower. Like I think Finviz was literally saying 12%, and that short used to be over 40% on Finviz like months ago, I think around June, if I'm not mistaken. But if I pull up Clover on Finviz, I think the most recent short dissemination date, I don't even know how to pronounce that word they use, but just like from the last release, Finviz, as you can see right over here, set at 12%, 13% short float. So I mean, I don't know, you believe what you want to believe. To me, it doesn't really matter too much. I still think that there is a lot of short activity. Obviously that data gets released from the NASDAQ or some sorts of validity every 2 weeks or so, when you get kind of the institutions reporting and everything. But the live short interest could be different, right? That was from maybe last week or the week before, but like now, you know, maybe after the run up, a bunch of shorts loaded up over here. You never know. So it just depends on what you're looking at. A bunch of different things will say different things, especially if you're looking at Ortex, like so many different things. To me, it's like squeeze would be great. I'm not necessarily, the idea of Clover for me is not just a squeeze. It's a lot more than a squeeze, but obviously a squeeze would be welcomed. You know, I would love to see this thing just shoot up again, but I'm not necessarily banking on that to happen every single day. I'm looking at it more of like a Wyckoff perspective, and you don't need a squeeze for a price to go up a crazy amount. That can happen naturally. All right, so Fade says prediction for CLOV tomorrow. We all know I don't do predictions. I don't have a magic ball. I show you a bunch of variables and I let you decide whatever you want to decide, right? And if you don't like that, again, you can go find other people who will give you predictions every single day. Hopefully they do well. That's just not really the goals I have, to, you know, give predictions the night before every night. I'm bullish. I hope it goes up, but I don't know, right? I'm looking at certain probabilities, not necessarily for tomorrow. I'm looking at certain probabilities for the midterm to even potentially the long term. All right. Tip jar is working, confirmed. Great. And yeah, thank you for the 64 likes, by the way. All right, so we're gonna get to SPRT soon. Before I do that, we're gonna take a little bit of a break, and I'm gonna talk about the Discord. So today, all right, let me load this up. What's the best way to do this? Should I just drag it over? That's not working. All right, well, let's do it like this then. Okay, hope you like the thumbnail from tonight. This was the thumbnail, but this is the Discord. Today we hit 2,000 members, so if you're in the Discord, thank you for supporting the FTM, the free trading movement. If you're not in the Discord, the link's in the description. Make sure to join it. There's going to be a giveaway taking place tomorrow. But this is the Discord. I always talk about what's, you know, somewhat in the Discord, but I never really show it on stream. Now that we've hit 2,000 members, I decided maybe just do something a little bit different. I'm always looking at charts the whole entire stream. If this is boring to you, maybe come back in 10 minutes. But I'm just going to be talking about the Discord and everything within it, so that people who aren't in it can get a description of everything. So, number one, verify yourself when you join the Discord. There's 2,000 people in here. About 500 of them have not been verified, which means that you cannot chat. So literally just come to this channel, hit that check mark, and you'll be able to chat, and you just got to read whatever that says. Obviously read the rules. There's links to a bunch of important things like the social media, the weekly sheet that I always bring up on the stream, my timestamped trades, like literally all the trades I publicly put out, they're timestamped forever. I never delete them, win or lose. You could always go look at all of my trades since, I think, January. You can go right now and look back at everything if you want. And then the announcements channel. This is kind of an explanation of the giveaway tomorrow. You can join the Discord and go to the announcements channel if you want to know more about that. This is where you can get YouTube alerts. YouTube does not do a great job of alerting all of you when I'm live. Some people get notifications, some people don't, but I will ping everyone. Whenever I put at everyone, everybody gets a ping, and everybody knows about what, you know, whenever I'm live. Robert Jones with a $6 super chat. Thank you for the tip. Let's get some vibes in the chat for Robert. VRPX MDIA. We're going to take a look at that as soon as I finish the Discord run through. But as soon as I get back to TradingView, we'll take a look at both of them within like probably 5 minutes. This shouldn't take me too long. What else? You can get all my swing alerts. For example, GameStop. I learned this on Monday. On Tuesday, GameStop was up 27%. That's not typical, but it was cool. And then also both of these trades I alerted on Monday, CZR and Win. Both of them hit their targets already, or their first targets this week, for like a 12 and 13% gain. That's where you can get my trade alerts. You can also get some updates on the alerts. I've been talking about CLOV here during the day. If you want updates intraday, crypto alerts, almost every single one of these alerts in this channel has hit the target. None of them have stopped out. I just started this channel like a month ago, but I think we're only waiting on one of them to hit the target. It's like pretty close. And then also, it's not just me sharing ideas. There's a bunch of other people who I think are very, very smart as well, sharing so many ideas for all of you, right? So you have that whole entire channel. We'll get back to this. I'm not gonna look at those right now. Then, just to really quickly do this, so I don't waste too much time, you have a trading chat, which is just about the market. Social chat if you want to meet other traders. Technical trades if you want to share charts, fundamentals, options, if you want to share some memes, testimonials, if you want to look through what everybody else has to say about everything in the Discord and Premium and whatever. Educational resources that we've kind of quickly summarized for all of you. If you ever have any questions about trading, this is the perfect place for you to go, and you'll get an answer within a day. And then also paid bots for free. Right? So you can type in all of these commands, just go to the pinned message, and you can see all the commands that you can use and get all of these things for free, right? You can see the social media chatter, dark pool levels, unusual flow, AI predictions, options flow summary. So there's a lot there that you can get. There's an interesting flow scanner, so you can see where the unusual options activity is. I'm sure you know about a lot of other, platforms that give you unusual options activity that you have to pay for. This is free. Just join the Discord and it's available to you. Another bot that just, look at all the stuff that you can get out of this, right? If you want to listen to music, you can type in music playlists over here. You can get news, updates from the CNBC Twitter. And also, if you ever want to talk to people that's there, not going to show these chats, obviously. Those are private. And then one final thing before I get back over to my charts. And Robert, I'm sorry for making you wait. I really wanted to get this as a part of the stream. Thank you again for the tip. But last point before I get back over to TradingView. Premium, this is the final reminder. Tomorrow at the market close, the sale is over. So if you're interested and you want more information, join the Discord, go to About in Premium, and here's pretty much the easiest way to know what the sale is. It ends tomorrow at the market close. These only come around like every couple of months. They don't happen every single week or whatever. If you want $5 off the monthly plan, use code CHAMP. If you want $10 off annual, use code CHAMPIONVIBE. You can join with this link, and it takes you over to this page. You can read it. Please read everything. Hit join. And then you enter the coupon code that I told you. For example, for the monthly, you just type in CHAMP, and then you get your discount right there, right? So it's that simple. Now you might be asking what's in it. Now, the way I keep the website is pretty simple, but all right, how do I go about this? All right, so I'm not going to be showing you swing charts or swing updates. Those are all the swing ideas I share. They're pretty much just like these, but they're additional, right? So I already showed you all. Somebody's putting in emojis right now. I already showed you all the swing alerts and swing updates that are free to everybody in the Discord. There's additional ones in Premium, a lot of them, okay? So this is pretty much the swing alerts channel for Premium, like this. And then this is pretty much the swing updates channel like this, where I update on all the trades. Then we also have options ideas. Now I'm showing this to all of you because none of these are currently active trades, but these are all the types of things that you get. Right, multiple times a week, most weeks, just a bunch of options ideas. This one did not work out. Okay, so for an example, all right, somebody's just following me around the Discord dropping emojis, but this one today did not work out. What happened was I shared this idea. the calls went up 10% like within minutes after I shared it. And then all the news about the explosions started coming out and the market started dropping. But I updated on it the whole entire day. This was a trade that didn't technically work out. But look, for a trade that didn't even work out, name me one other person who puts out ideas that gives this much context and education around. I could have just literally just shared this, just the options idea. But I gave all of the education on why I was looking at it, an update on how it was doing, and literally everything, right? So it's just nonstop. Then there's the watch list, which I'm not going to be sharing on the stream. I actually shared some lotto call ideas for tomorrow in there for premium members. This just explains everything I just talked about in the overview channel. And then the chat, right? This was all from today. So let me go to the morning. All of this. I mean, I'm nonstop scrolling up. But it's just straight work all day looking at charts. I give you all of my thoughts during the day. This is the first time I've ever shared like premium, like actual premium chats on the channel, because I just want to let you all know what it's like in case the website's not really clear enough for all of you, so that you know what you're kind of looking for if you're interested in joining. The link's in the description. But all from today, just like straight up charts. I was talking about Clover quite a bit today, just giving some updates there. We traded Clover options earlier this week. They were 100% profit in like I think the next day. I share them on Monday, as you can see right over here. Share them on Monday right there, and then the next day, if I can find it, you can see. Actually, let me find the message where they doubled right there, and then they doubled the next day. So, you know, I just give updates on a lot of different things. I mean, today, I'm not going to read through everything. We don't really have time, but this is really everything. Look, I mean, just sharing charts throughout the day. If I see something while I'm looking at my trading view, I just share, and then we just all talk about stuff. So that's really what it is. I'm going to get back over to TradingView. There's still a lot more to talk about, but that's really what's in premium, because for people who are asking, that's what you're looking for. It's really just, you know, a way for you to get hands-on education about, you know, because I wish I had this 2 years ago. It would have saved me a lot of time if I could just go to a place where somebody was walking me through everything every single day. And that's why I really wanted to start this. And this like is a major part of my life. Like, I'm putting aside time to study for college. I don't have any other job, which if I wasn't doing this, I should be doing. But I'm doing this, like, you know, this is like all of this, the whole entire Discord. And that's why I kind of want to run through everything. So that's everything. I am so sorry, Robert Jones. I'm getting back to TradingView right now. And we're going to look at everything. Okay. The link is in the description if you want to join premium, or if you just want to join the Discord. The link for both of those are in the description. So I hope all of that transparency was informative to people who weren't too aware of everything. If you're new to the everything here, I don't know what I'm saying. But we need to look at VRPX. Robert, I'm again really sorry. It was just not the best time. I just really wanted to go over all of that. But just final reminder. The code, if you want monthly, is champ, and if you want the annual, the code is champion vibe. So let me see if Robert's still in the chat. There we go. Robert says, I'm good, I watch all stream. All right, perfect. I was feeling bad, but that's great. So we're going to look at these two tickers for Robert, and then we're going to be talking about SPRT, which I have an interesting thought on it for tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. Not necessarily for SPRT, but for other stocks. I kind of hinted at what I was talking about earlier with how the money could kind of transfer into other things, you know, rotation into similar types of names. We're going to get to it. Let's talk about these charts first. VRPX, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is not the easiest thing for me to chart. There's a lot of gappy candles here. I'm on the 30-minute, but even if I go over to the daily, it's not really easy to chart things like this. You can't really get patterns and divergence and stuff when you're just going sideways, and then out of nowhere you just run straight up, and then you come back to the middle, and then you just go sideways again. It's not really like natural flow of higher highs, lower lows, higher lows, like, you know, those types of movements. It's just kind of very sporadic. So for these types of charts, technicals don't really help out too much. I'll do my best here, but we'll see. This is, again, very, very rough. Maybe kind of like an ascending broadening wedge after the gap down, but I'm using the candles before the gap down. Like, it's not really easy to really chart this. So, I mean, if you just look at like this, right? So maybe it's making slightly higher highs and higher lows on the 4 hour. That's your upper trend line, lower trend line, or supply line and demand line. It pretty much filled the gap at 21.78, and it also filled this gap. So there's not much of a gap on the daily to fill at this point. I'd say really 1388 is your really only clear support in this area, and then resistance would just be this candle low, candle high. So it's within a range. It's not a real range, but this is your only support I can see in resistance. I think whichever way it breaks could be telling, but again, I really don't know how useful technicals are for charts like this. Just being as straightforward as possible. MDIA is easier to work with. Still a little bit, how do I put this, different. Medi says, hi, looking to join premium, but before I do, can I see the last few messages on the premium chat? Medi is a premium member. All right, why do you all want me to see the last few messages? All right, I'll do it after I look at this chart for Robert. But MDIA, the clowns are being clowns. That's all I'm gonna say. But MDIA, you have some hidden bullish divergence on the daily, which implies a continuation of this overall uptrend. 448 is like a huge support, but that's like, 50% lower. In terms of resistance, 887 is your next resistance. You could see it was your candle high on June 19th, 2020, and it was your candle high on January 9th, 2020. And even once your candle high on August 13th of this year, and your 2-day support on August 11th and 12th. So that upper $8, to $9 area would pretty much be the resistance I'd be looking at. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of a demand line like this. I don't look at this like an ascending triangle. I know I kind of charted like that, but it's not an ascending triangle. I'm just kind of showing you resistance and demand lines. So I'm trying my best with these ones. I'm just being as honest as possible. Not the easiest types of stocks to chart, but thank you again very, very much for the tip, Robert, and sorry for all the wait. And then if you ever break 9, then 1226 is your next resistance after that. So we'll see. So we're going to be talking about SPRT next. We still got 70 people in here. Really appreciate all the support. 1 second. All right, I'm just trying to make sure that you guys are not typing anything in the chat that I can't share on stream. So for whatever reason, Lump and Medi really want me to go back to the Discord. And let me just triple check. All right, this is what was so desperate that I needed to stop charting and share with all of you. All right, just typically the premium chat's not like this. Just want to make that clear. JG, hope you're doing well. I don't know with this GIF how you're doing, but we're all here for you. And yeah, hopefully you guys are happy now. Wrong link. All right, let me read the chat for a little bit. Keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and let's see what's in the chat. JG says, "Don't go to the vibes room. It's my dark pool." The vibes room is the channel in the Discord where you can listen to music. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but your last name says Repair. Says, "Can I get an invite?" The link is in the description for the Discord and for premium. And Cheddar Freeze just dropped in chat. Thank you. Mert is in the chat. How you doing, Mert? And yeah, so SPRT. I mean, wow, is that the easiest way to put it? A lot of people have been asking me today if I think SPRT will be up again tomorrow. What's my thoughts on SPRT? Is it a good time to enter SPRT? What's the next resistance for SPRT? SPRT. That was pretty much my DMs from today. But I did not get a single DM about SPRT in the beginning of August when I was sharing this cup and handle with hidden bullish divergence that I was breaking out of. If you were here, if you follow me on Twitter, or if you're in the Discord, I shared a free watch list for everybody. SPRT was included in that watch list. Since I shared that watch list, SPRT is up 300%. These are the areas that I look for entries. After you do this, I'm going to be honest, for everybody asking, this is not really my field of trading. Can it go higher? Yes, it can. Can it dump? Yes, it can. Do I know what's going to happen? No, I don't. So, you know, if you want to be asking questions, the type of questions would mainly be, hey, I see this stock with the cup and handle that has 4-hour hidden bullish divergence, and after the breakout, it created a demand line that is kind of holding for a couple of weeks. What do you think about it? And how can you know to spot those things? Watching the stream every single night, watching the course on my channel, the link's in the description as well. But yeah, so to everybody asking me questions about SPRT, this is where I was looking at it, at $7. It's on my Twitter, you can go look it up on Twitter. At this point, I don't really know how much technicals matter. Even on Sunday night, before this week started, on Sunday night, right over here, I was talking about how it looked bullish on this demand line, and it just needed to break over that $9 to $10 resistance area. It did that, and right now, I mean, this is the hot ticker, right? You get one of these pretty much once a month. There was, you know, the GameStop, then the AMC, then the Clover in June, and then there was Wish, and now I feel like it's this one for right now. But yeah, support.com, high short interest, getting squeezed. A lot of mania going on here. We've seen this earlier this year. Who knows what this could turn into? Am I going to be trading this? No, I will not. I'm not going to be getting puts, not going to be getting calls. I've traded it before. I traded it last Friday. I had lotto calls. I doubled my money on those calls, which for lottos is not a crazy deal, but it was okay. And yeah, so really all I can do here after all of that is chart the levels for everybody. Okay. So we're going to be going over to the weekly chart. And now that you're above 11, I mean, we can kind of disregard all of this, right? You've already broken out of this whole entire insanely long grounding bottom that took 7 years, right? Thank you for the subscription. So we zoom out on our chart and we look for the next areas of resistance from the past or support. So what I'm going to do now is chart them. Okay. So first off, we have 1889 as a support because it's above that now. We also have 2135 as a support because it's above that now. I know it says 1970, but it went up after hours. So in terms of support, you have 19 and 21 as supports. Let me see the exact price. It went up to 27 to close after hours roughly. So I'm just going to put like a little bit of a white line there so we know where it is after hours. I'll make it, I don't know, purple so it stands out. This is where it closed after hours at. So all the orange lines below you are support on SPRT. You got one more over here from this high back in the year I was born. I don't even know that I did not even know this company was that old. In terms of resistance, you got 3284 from this high back from 2004. And then finally, if it keeps going insane, you got 4574 and then just 50. That's a psychological level. Obviously now it's going crazy and it hasn't been at these levels in years. You could also just use, you know, psychological resistances and Fibonacci as levels. Now keep in mind, how much does all this matter? I really don't know. I really don't. Now I will tell you that me looking, you know, a decade back mattered a lot when we were over here and we were breaking out and I was talking about it. So zooming out on my chart did help there. Will it help now that it just ran 40% during the day and then 38% after hours? I don't know. Right? So those are pretty much your levels of, you know, this purple line is where it's currently at. All these orange lines, if the orange lines are below you, if the orange lines are under the purple, that's support. If they're above the purple, it's resistance. But take every single thing I just said with a grain of salt. It's in its own world right now. It's, in my opinion, it just depends on how long the hype lasts. And I do think eventually it'll see some sort of a retracement. It's just a question of how much it can really squeeze. I don't know. I don't know what's going to do tomorrow, the day after, probably for the next couple of weeks. For everybody asking, it's not really in my threshold of how I trade currently. It was in my threshold over here. And I wish I, put out an actual swing on it rather than sharing a watch list about it. But yeah, SPRT. Now the interesting thing here is, now that we see a squeeze starting, we've seen it a couple times this year. When one squeeze happens, sometimes you see a couple other ones kind of take place as sympathies. Now, what would people be thinking would be the next squeezes? Well, you could just look at the highest shorted stocks right now. And believe it or not, I don't think AMC and GameStop and Clover are really at the top anymore. But they were at one point. So maybe people just think about highly shorted stocks from a couple months ago, and they'll just automatically think GameStop, AMC, Clover, whatever else there was. And I'm not really saying this is like a factual thing. I'm just bringing up a random point. I'll just be interested. It'll be interesting to me if you see some sort of a pullback on SPRT, and then you see other types of short squeeze potential stocks, Reddit stocks, meme stocks running, as maybe people take profits on this name and roll them over into other stocks. There's always a potential for that. Same on the same exact note. Maybe money flows from people FOMOing into this, right? They come out of those stocks. Maybe that happened today, right? You saw AMC go down how much was AMC down today? AMC was down 8% today, right? So I'm just trying to bring up different points. I'm trying to make all of you think. I'm not really here streaming to just hand out every single thing I could think of. I'm really here to make you all think. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but my main goal is to just allow each and every single one of you to just become a better trader. I'm not the best trader in the world. I mess up all the time. But if there's ways in which I can get you all thinking about certain things when it comes to trading, I just like bringing them up for fun, for education. So hopefully enjoy all of that. But yeah, to everybody in SPRT, I wish you luck. To people betting against SPRT, I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well for everybody. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, if you're making money, I want you to make money. I want you to keep that money. That's all I'm saying. I never want to hear about people losing money. It happens every single day. I know that, but my goal is to try and make you all the most amount of money as possible without telling you what to do, because I cannot tell you what to do. So I'm just trying to give you education instead, based on what I know. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving you my opinions, and then I let you all think with all of that I say. You make your own decisions. That's the point I'm trying to get to. All right. Yeah, and it went crazy after hours. It went up to that purple line that I charted. Oh, why is it not showing anymore? Must have been on the weekly. Yeah, 27-ish. It's not literally there. It's sad. Google says it went up to 27.12. Actually, I charted that perfectly according to Google. I just randomly clicked around 27, but I don't know. It probably depends on what brokerage you're looking at. And then if you look at the Ortex numbers, I'm sure they're insanely wild right now. And yeah, right now I think I was looking just for fun. I was looking at the options, and I saw 400% IV. I mean, me personally, there's just so much funny stuff that can happen if you're trading options with the 400% IV. So I'm just watching from the sidelines. I'm rooting for everybody to make money. That's just kind of how I'm looking at it. Cheddar Free says, FOMO is dangerous. I've seen many people asking if they should get in tomorrow. You now have no edge. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Better reward to risk, where Champion Vibe had shown it earlier. Yeah, for sure. It's just people typically, and I'm not saying all of you watching, I'm saying most retail traders don't really care until something like this happens, right? They did not care about AMC when it was at $2 at an ice line with classic bullish divergence. We've talked about that previously on the stream. And I'm sure a lot of them didn't care when it was at 5 with hidden bullish divergence on the daily. But then they started caring as it started trending up and up and up, right? There's FOMO for a reason. People want to make money. You get these large green candles also out of FOMO though, right? We really don't get these moves unless people aren't, trying to FOMO into it. If people were trying to buy a dip, they would not be buying it higher and higher and higher. So it's a double-edged sword, but it just depends on your risk tolerance and all of that. But Cuckoo Bird with there we go. Look at the coins going everywhere. Wow. That's probably why my battery's been dying, honestly. But Cuckoo Bird with the $25 Canadian tip. Let's get some vibes in the chat. Cuckoo Bird says, great effort, champ, as always. How are you going to maintain your premium service while in school full-time? Well, it's more important to me than that. I mean, everything I'm doing, I'm trying to say this quietly, but it's more important to me to be doing all of this. This is how I see my future. I'm in school because it allows me opportunities. It does. You know, internships and just meeting other people and also learning about business. But also the other part of school is I learn about a lot of things I don't need to know about, right? So, you know, I'll be enjoying my business classes, which is my major, but I'm not going to be enjoying my, you know, literature classes and chemistry classes and all that. So it's kind of weird in terms of, you know, how it looks. Here's the thing with me and my schedule. And the good part about it, I only have to go to classes 2 days a week, which is optimal. And I'm pretty much there from like noon until like 6 or 7 p.m. So on Tuesday and Thursdays, pretty much where I'm going to be going. I'll be there from like noon to 6 or 7 p.m. So in the mornings on Tuesday and Thursdays when I'll pretty much be sharing ideas in premium. And already most of the time, most of the ideas I share are typically in the morning as well. Like already, if I'm going to be sharing an options idea or a swing trade idea, usually I already kind of have them on my watch list the night before, and then I just share them in the morning after I look at how the market looks and how they're kind of trading intraday. So yeah, it's only 2 days a week I'm at college, and I'm still at home for the mornings of those days, and I'm still always preparing the night before. That's why I always say on the streams, like, I don't just stream and go right to bed. I stream, and then there's a bunch of other stuff I have to do. I have to look at my watch list, I have to organize everything, then also the timestamp stuff I have to upload, and then I have to give out some clips to the social media team. Like, I just find time to do it all. That's just how I work. I just work as hard as I can. I do not trade for any hedge fund. Vishal for asking in the chat. No. I don't even know if I would, honestly. Maggie says, do you have a white or black hat or just the FTM brown hat? The only FTM hat I have is this. I have a lot of caps though. I mean, I have probably 10, 11, 12 caps that I casually wear, and then I don't even know how many more on top of that. But if you're just asking in general if there's a white or black hat on the merch website, yeah, there's like a bunch of different colors, I believe. That's the pin chat. If you ever want to send a Streamlabs tip so that YouTube doesn't take a 30% cut, that's the pin chat. And then also that's where you can find the merch. It should be in like, after you hit the pin chat, just go to the page and it'll show like merch in like the top right or something. You hit that, I think. And then, okay, so I already answered that tip question. My major is financial management, surprisingly. Take up data science and machine learning as your mate. That, no. I mean, it's in my pinned tweet on Twitter. I failed geometry, and literally this is kind of like geometry, you know, shapes on charts, right? Kind of like geometry, but I actually failed geometry in high school. Well, I got a D, but whatever, it is what it is. I failed one half of the year, and then I got a D or something. I don't even remember, but I'm really not into math, believe it or not. I hate math. Math has always been my worst subject. I've always been better at history and English, and those don't even really apply to what I'm doing right now. So it's just kind of weird. It's just stocks are just different for me. It's just, I guess maybe it's, you know, the fact that I'm doing math to make money now. It's more incentivizing. I don't know what it is, but I do not want to be doing any sort of coding or machine learning, or I just stocks. You said, Vishal says, I mean, do you trade for your premium members who don't have time to be available for a commission? No, I don't do any of that. I'm not allowed to do that. And also I wouldn't do that. One, I don't want to ever kind of have that sort of pressure. Two, I'm not certified to do that. It's illegal for me to do that. And three, I don't have the time to do that. So I don't do that at all. And that's why, and you're asking for people who don't have time. For people who don't have time, that's where the swing trades come into play. Most of the swing trades, if you don't see it on the same day, typically, not always, sometimes they go crazy, like the AMC swing trade we had, but typically you're going to have like a day or two to enter it. So if you're busy for 5 minutes out of the day, which I'm sure everybody here is because you're watching the stream, their swing trades are there. If you're going to be trading options, I'm going to be honest with you, like a lot of the options, you kind of have to be monitoring them during the day. So I will be straightforward. Like if you're, you know, sometimes I share options that are a little bit of a longer term idea, but a lot of the options you definitely should be able to have a flexible schedule. But again, options, a lot of people are in premium that don't trade options at all, so that's where the swings are. So that's why I kind of, you know, do both, right? All right, so that's a lot of questions answered in the chat. All right, I'll let everybody vote tonight. Do you want me to go over the ongoing trades? Actually, we'll just do this. I'm not going to go over the technicals, but just give up. I'll just look at the weekly sheet, and then we'll do take requests for the rest of the stream. I'm not going to be giving updates on the technicals. If you have any important questions about any of the ongoing trade ideas in the Discord or whatever, just message in the Discord. Tonight, we don't really have time to do that. And honestly, none of them really moved much today. I mean, GameStop was up 3%, X was down 2%. Like, they were pretty much flat today. There's not much of any technical change for the ongoing trade. So I'll just quickly recap how the weekly sheet looks, and then we'll just do take requests for the rest of the stream. All right, but keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, join the Discord. If you want to join premium, the sale ends tomorrow. You're not going to be getting another sale for definitely over a month, most likely like 2 months. This is a weekly sheet right now for the trades. So far, so good. A couple of premium trades are down a few percent, but also a few premium trades hit their targets for like much more than a few percent. So far, so green. Good week so far. I mean, despite today, a lot of these did pull back today. The weekly sheet looked even better yesterday. But hopefully Friday, we can close the sheet out something like this. And also, if you want to access this sheet and see every single week in the Discord, like ever, the link's in the Discord in the links channel. Okay, so the good weeks, the bad weeks, you know, whatever it is, you know, the link's there. Everything's on the sheet. I still can't believe week 30. I mean, I don't know what I was doing this week. It was when a lot of stocks were going up in, I think, like May or something, but there's been fun times and bad times, or not so fun times. I don't know how to put it. Vishal with the $10 tip. Thank you very much for the tip. Let's get some vibes in the chat for Vishal with the $10. I'm kind of tired. I don't know if you could tell, but let's go CLOV is the message. I'm hoping that CLOV goes up as well, but always got to manage risk. And let's get some vibes in the chat for Vishal. Thank you very much for all the support. And we'll just do take requests for the rest of the stream pretty much. Probably, you know, not a crazy amount of take requests. If there's like 1,000 takers in the chat, I'm not gonna be able to look at all of them. I'm probably only going to have time to look at like 10 to 15 takers. So let me read the chat. Don't drop any tickets just yet. Actually, there's not much in the chat. Never mind. Help me pronounce your last name. It's spelled L-M-E-I or I-M-E-I, but your last name in the chat is Repair. Help me pronounce that. I don't want to mispronounce it, but Repair says, let me see if I can get it on the premium stuff. Links in the description. And also, if you ever need if you want to know more, because obviously you're spending money, if you ever want to know more, my Twitter DMs are always open. My Discord DMs are always open. You don't have to add me as a friend on Discord to DM me. Just DM me. So if you ever have any questions, it doesn't even have to be a premium. Anything at all, just DM me. Typically, most of my DMs are just chart requests. Sometimes I don't really have time to look at chart requests during the day. So if you're going to just DM me to ask me about charts, do that on the stream. I mean, sometimes I will answer them in DMs if I'm like free and stuff, but yeah, the best place to do that is actually right now, if you want me to look at a chart. So yeah, what's up, Neutron Flux Labs in the chat? Hope you're doing well. We're just gonna be doing take requests now. Chat, please drop the Discord link in the chat. And yeah, also there's a Discord giveaway tomorrow. I already mentioned it, but just a reminder, it's tomorrow at 4:05 p.m. EST. So 5 minutes after the market closes tomorrow, there's a giveaway. Why does the time matter? Because you have to be on the Discord in the verification channel, and you only have 60 seconds to enter the giveaway. I'm saying it now. I said in the announcements channel, it's a 60-second giveaway. If you are not there at the exact time, you will not be entered. It's not like every single person in the Discord is going to be entered. The way that we have it set up is you have to be there. So at 4:05 p.m. EST, go to the verification channel, and then there's going to be a giveaway bot in that channel. It's going to tell you to react to its message with an emoji, a party emoji. You just hit that, and then you're entered. If you want a deeper explanation, go to the announcements channel in the Discord, and that explains the whole entire giveaway tomorrow for a celebration of us hitting 2,000 members. Okay? We'll look at BlackBerry first. It's an ongoing trade. All right. So BlackBerry is an ongoing swing trade. That's, I think, up like 2% since the entry. Yeah. So current swing trade is up 2%. This is an older one. It really hasn't done much at all. But it was at a loss. Now it's back in profit. BlackBerry still looks really interesting to me. So I'm sure if you were here for the premium segment when I was kind of looking through a bunch of the chats for all of you, you saw the BlackBerry calls I shared. Those were the only calls so far this week that have not worked out. So I've shared 3 other calls this week in premium. Corsair, Clover. Do I still have my Discord open? So Clover calls were 100% profit. AMD calls were 60% profit. Oh, and then Corsair calls were like a 30% profit if I'm not mistaken. And then these dropped like 20%. And then they went back up. And then they went back down. Like, so out of all the calls this week I've shared, this was the only one that didn't work out so far. But I'm still looking at it. I mean, I had to mark it as red on the premium sheet because it went down 20% at one point. But if we look at this, we've been talking about Wyckoff nonstop on the stream. This is what I noticed on BlackBerry on lower time frames. Kind of Wyckoff-ian. It's not perfect, but I kind of view this area as the spring area. You have your multi-level supports, as you can see over here, top of the resistance range, kind of had your sign of strength. Look at the volume signature over there. And then this could be looked at as the backup or the LPS. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. This area. This is what it could potentially be in right now, right? Where it's trying to flip that previous resistance range into support. So what happened was I shared the idea over here and then the market with all the explosion news. Just most stocks started trending down for the day. So that's really what happened, but still it's attempting to continue to flip that resistance into support. If it can successfully do it, that can allow for BlackBerry to continue up. My voice is starting to go. To continue up to maybe retest the highs from yesterday at 1168, and if it breaks that, maybe 1254. If it can't hold that resistance, then you have your major support down around 960, which we've been talking about for weeks. COPX. Again, I'm not going to be able to get to all the tickers in the chat tonight. We've already been live for an hour and a half, and I have 10% battery, so I'm just doing as many as I can until I have to kind of get out of here. But COPX is very, very gappy, which is not optimal. You have I don't think it's a deep enough B point. Maybe an alternate bat pattern. Let's see. Just hit the mark, the 382. So you have an alternate bat that's currently already playing out. You're just testing the 200 moving average. If it breaks above, your next resistance is 37.62. If it can't break above, your support's 34.46. AUPH is breaking out of a range. Here, you could see it right there. It's breaking out of a range right now that's been in since like June of 2020. Maybe it back tested. It is just about getting overbought on the daily, so I don't know. But now that you broke over 1627, that's your new support in terms of your next resistance. I mean, really the big one's around like 20 bucks. If you look at these highs over here and this one over there. So if it can just hold above that previous range for long enough, it could move up to the next resistance. WKEY. I don't think I ever put this trade out, but it was like from scanning or something. Kind of like an alternate bat as well. Really high time frames, but honestly, like this all kind of looks like an X to A wave instead of like an X to A B. I don't know. These are all your levels on the chart. Okay. Somewhat classic bullish divergence is playing out on the daily MACD. You also have resistance at the 200 moving average around 770, and then your major support's like $6. Pretty easy there. I mean, you have a mini support here as well. Here as well, like 649-ish, and that little low. That's really it. And then APPH. I looked at this earlier today. It's breaking it today. It actually broke a 3-day resistance from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's Thursday. Trying to break that after a rough gap down. Medi buying the FT at market cap. That's one of the first merch sales in a while. We used to get like 2 to 3 merch sales every single stream back in like February. and then kind of, I don't know, after like June or July or whatever, we've really only been getting like 1 or 2 or 3 a month. So the merch kind of died off, but I still think the merch looks great. I'm still repping the merch every single day. If you ever want to check it out, it's the pinned chat. I honestly haven't done a great job of promoting it like at all, so I probably should do that. But like I'm sure many people here didn't even know if there was merch apart from what I'm wearing. But Medi says, and again, Medi, thank you for all the support. Medi has been insanely kind. I'm on 8% here. He's been doing free one-on-one classes for members in the Discord. He also gifted the one-on-one class that he paid for to two other members in the Discord. He's been putting in so much work, sharing ideas, helping out, like vibes in the chat for Medi, for getting the merch, and just for being amazing. And he does the timestamps for every single stream. I mean, Medi has just been crushing it. That's the easiest way to put it. Like, am I pronouncing your name right? Please correct me if I'm wrong, because I just said your name like 10 times. But I don't know my chat. Is nobody just typing right now? Is the chat just kind of inactive? But the message was, thanks for all the knowledge and education. Shout out to #ClownAlerts, Lump, Cheddar, Neutron with the 1-minute charts. Also, premium is worth it, guys. And if you need help with charting, other analysts and I can help you guys on the Discord, and even drop the Discord link in the message. Wow. I mean, we need so many vibes in the chat from Eddie. I'm even dropping the vibes in the chat from the stream timestamps, which I know you all love, which also help to grow the stream because I get to share those timestamps on Twitter on my mini second account. To just helping around the Discord, to supporting the community by getting merch. Like, Medi is the man, okay? Deserves a lot of credit. Medi works insanely hard for this whole entire community alongside all the other amazing mods, and legit would not be here. We would not have 2,000 members if we didn't have all these amazing mods. So shout out to every single one of the mods in the Discord, helping to let everything go smoothly, but also to improve the Discord day by day. It's amazing to see how awesome the team is. So every single one of the mods in the Discord, thank you for everything you do for me. Seriously, I appreciate you all so much. And Medi, thank you again for everything. Okay. Yeah, but APPH, there still is the gap fill to like 1173. I guess the gap down on earnings. Other than that, I mean, you got a MACD cross to green on the daily. It's not really any bullish divergence though. You were just oversold. You're bouncing back up. It's not a lot of data after the gap fill. So it's not something personally I would swing. Does it have potential to fill that gap? Of course it does, if it just holds that low. So it's all about just holding the previous swing low. And yeah, that's why Medi has the GOAT emoji. But enjoy the FTM hat. And let's do one more thing. I know it's towards the end of the stream, so like half the viewers have already left. But if you're in this chat right now, I think that's the best way to do it. If you're in the chat right now, I'm ending the stream right now. So I'm literally, this is it. I'm sorry for everybody else who dropped tickers in the chat. Literally have 5% battery. You can't see it, but you kind of can. So the stream has to end. I'll see you all in the Discord tomorrow, but I'm spamming the chat with a link. I never ever drop links to anybody else's YouTube channels. Obviously I talk about Mitch Ray. I've been shouting out Tar Heel and Coach as well, but I never drop links to anybody's channels. Right there. Okay, click on that link. All those links I just spammed in the chat. And Medi has his own YouTube channel, and I want all of you to go watch his videos, drop likes, subscribe, because this stream would not be operating without Medi doing the timestamps as it is right now. So go show Medi some love. He's been working super hard on his own channel on top of everything he's been doing for us and with his job. Like, I want to do this when we have more viewers in the stream as well, but we got 49 people in here. At least half of you should go check out his channel. Okay. All right. And I'm sure many of you didn't even know about it because we have like a no self-promotion rule. But if there's anybody who I want to give a lot of promotion to, it's Medi. So the link's in the chat. You can leave the stream now. I'm ending it right now. Go check out his channel. Go subscribe. And yeah, he does a lot of fundamental analysis around earnings and stuff. Obviously, he's great with charts. If you're in the Discord, you know that. There we go. Oh my gosh. All right, how much battery do I have? 4%. All right, so I'm using a different mouse pad right now, but I have this over there. I don't really know if you can see it. You really can't see it on the camera, but you can see it in person. I dropped, when I was streaming, if everybody remembers when I dropped T everywhere, I dropped T on this mouse pad that Neutron Flux just bought, and it has like a stain. Like, it's still very usable, but it has like a, you know, a yellowish stain on it. So I think Cheddar Freeze said that she like hand washed hers. I might try and do that, but I love this mouse pad. As long as I was using it until I dropped T all over it live on stream, it was an amazing mouse pad. So I hope you enjoy it. I mean, Neutron Flux Labs, just off the top of my head, I think has purchased more merch than anybody else. I mean, I think I don't know. There's definitely a lot of people that are close, but Neutron Flux Labs has so much FTM merch. I really hope you're enjoying it, and thank you again for all the support. Neutron Flux Labs, another amazing mod. You know, all the mods, seriously. But Neutron Flux Labs is always helping on the Discord. He's given me so many testimonials about premium and just about everything. He's gotten a lot of other people to join the server. Just so much support. And the message was, let's get some vibes in the chat for hashtag champs, Christmas, Charger Fund. I'm kidding, and I can't compete with Medi, but I do need a new mouse pad for my trading station, paid by TA and education in the FTM, you know. All right, Neutron Flux Labs, thank you for everything. My battery's about to die, but vibes in the chat for Neutron Flux Labs before I get out of here. Thank you for all the support. And then one more huge shout out. I don't know if she's still in the stream, and obviously I'm saying shout out to all of my mods. But Cheddar Freeze, this Discord would have literally been nowhere if Cheddar Freeze was on the Discord. If you're in the Discord, you know that. I hope Cheddar Freeze is still in here, but another insanely huge shout again to all the mods as well. But I think we can all admit that nobody is as active in the Discord as Cheddar Freeze is. She is literally the backbone, the spine of the Discord. So huge shout out to Cheddar Freeze as well for everything she does. And she's insanely selfless as well. Like, she doesn't want anything. And I want to give back however I can, but she's just the most like humble, selfless person I've ever, you know, worked with in the FTM community and everything. Just huge shout out. I don't know if she's still on the stream. If she's not, just if you ever see her in the chat, say thank you for everything that she does, and just always show her support, as well as all the mods, the guys in the chat as well. Shout out to you and everybody else that is a moderator and just in the Discord. So my battery's at 2%. I'm gonna get out of here for the night. Thank you for everything, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Good luck trading tomorrow, and peace out. All right, one last thing. If you're still in the stream, go in the Discord, go to the social chat, okay? Go to the social chat in the Discord and ping at Cheddar Freeze, or just ping at Cheddar Freeze, or ping Discord at Discord moderator, whichever one you want to do. I mean, my computer is super laggy right now. And just say thank you for everything, okay? Because I want to give another huge shout out to the mods. Like, right now I'm just feeling so grateful. So go to the social chat and just drop some kind messages in for all the mods for the milestone we hit today, which was 2,000 members. Okay, seriously now, good night.